bring some precision to something that is seems to be very, very, very spread far and wide. Now, there's a certain lie that's going around talking about Palestinian people. Now, to talk about the Palestinian people, you have to talk about their roots, where they come from. So here's a little. I'm gonna read a little text that was put together by a friend of mine that is a historian, also a Christian, and he's French. I translated it into English. So here goes. The term Palestine, and you can look up, huh? You can look up the term, you can look up where it comes from, you can look up what it means. Because we have to, if you want to talk about the Palestinians, you have to look, the root of Palestinians is Palestine. What is the root of Palestine? What is the etymology of Palestine? Where does that word come from? If you look up, you'll find no original Arabic language or other language mentioning Palestine except for the Romans mentioning Itate or Palestinae or the Palestinian state, which the Romans named. And the reason they named it that way was because of the arch enemies of Israel's that were the Philistines. So they gave it like a Roman name. They transliterated the name. Now here's the text. The text says the term Palestine was first used by Hadrian, a Roman empire, in 150 AD after massacring Jews. The term relates to the name of Israel's arch enemy, the Philistines. Before Israel, there was the British Mandate in Palestine. No Palestinian state. Before the British Mandate in Palestine, there were the Turkish and Muslim Ottoman empires, not a Palestinian state. Before the Ottoman Empire, there was the Islamic State of the Mamelukes of Egypt, not a Palestinian state. Before the Islamic State of the Mamelukes of Egypt, there was the Arab Kurdish Ayyubid Empire, not a Palestinian state. Before the Ayyubid Empire, there was the Kingdom of Jerusalem, Frank and Christian, not a Palestinian state. Before the Kingdom of Jerusalem, there was the Umayyad and Fatimid Empire, not a Palestinian state. So there was a little break in the live. The feed cut off, but here goes again. Here's the rest. So before the Ayyubid Empire, there was the Kingdom of Jerusalem, Frank and Christian, not a Palestinian state. It was past there. Okay, before the Umayyad Empire and the Fatimid Empire, there was the Byzantine Empire, not a Palestinian state. Before the Byzantine Empire, there was the Sassanian Empire, not a Palestinian state. Before the Sassanian Empire, there was the Byzantine Empire, not a Palestinian state. Before the Sassanian Empire, there was a Byzantine Empire, not a Palestinian state. Before the Byzantine, not a Palestinian state. Before the Byzantine Empire, there was a Roman Empire, not a Palestinian state. Before the Roman Empire, there was the Hashmonean state, not a Palestinian state. Before the Hashmonean state, there was the Seleucid Empire, not a Palestinian state. Before the Seleucid Empire, there was the Macedonian Empire of Alexander the Great, not a Palestinian state. Before the Macedonian Empire, there was the Persian Empire, not a Palestinian state. Before the Persian Empire, there was the Babylonian Empire, not a state. Before the Persian Empire, there was the Babylonian Empire, not a Palestinian state. Before the Babylonian Empire, there were the kingdoms of Israel and Judah, not a Palestinian state. Before the kingdoms of Israel and Judah, there was the kingdom of Israel, not a Palestinian state. Before the kingdom of Israel, there was the theocracy of the 12 tribes of Israel, not a Palestinian state. Before the theocracy of the 12 tribes of Israel, there was a conglomeration of independent Canaanite city kingdoms, not a Palestinian state. In fact, on this piece of land, there was almost everything except a Palestinian state. So remind me how the Zionists were able to steal something that never existed. So that's the question to you. Now, if you look up the Philistines, what you'll find in talk about the Philistines is that the Philistines lived in that area that is called Gaza. The Philistines came from the area near Cyprus. That word Philistines actually is from Peleshet, meaning invaders, invaders that came from the north, north of the Assyrians, north of Syria, near that island called Crete, the Crete and the Cyprus area. Okay, almost nearing Greece. So they came into the land just as Israel came in from Egypt at a certain time. But Israel used to live on the land prior to that. But because of famine, they left and went into Egypt. So the Philistines lived uh, in that area called Gaza. Now the Palestinians claim that they are the original inhabitants of the land. Well, if it's so, if they are linked to the Philistines, then they only have rights to Gaza. They would only have rights to Gaza, but there's no link, no lineage between the Philistines that lived 4,500 years ago and the Palestinians that are Arab Muslims. So go ahead. You may or may not believe what I'm saying. That is history. You can look up history. Look up books. Internet, you can find all kind of fake sources on the internet. But look up old books, the dusty ones, the ones you have to read and turn the pages. And look up the definition for Palestine. And you'll be able to find out what is truth and what is not. I hope for you. Have a good day.